I think about all the people that have lived in these apartments, these hotel rooms, all their stories, how they contributed to the city, how they contributed to Chinatown. Even though they may be simple stories, they're all important. I had an early fascination with photography. I had a camera. It was a Brownie camera. But I remember taking pictures of some of my friends down here. I continued learning photography at the UW. This led to me being involved in a group of minority students in the School of Communications wanting to organize. Ron Gee was part of that group.
There was a lot of community activism. Students were returning from the University of Washington down into the community to help restore the neighborhood, build housing, social services. The International Examiner was created by a couple merchants who were part of this movement to rebirth the neighborhood. The photography, the stories that were the cornerstone of the newspaper were really vital. It also provides the role of being a voice for people in the API community who have different viewpoints. We're a very, very diverse community, and I think the newspaper provides a voice for people writing about life and events around them.
Ron Gee and some of the other people involved with the Examiner got a grant from King County for Culture to start this project, and a second grant from City of Seattle Department of Neighborhoods.
It was an archival project because we have all these photos upstairs with no digital file, and we wanted to preserve them. We wanted to make them last and also share it with other people.
So this photo from the archives becomes this line in the catalog, and then becomes this in the Flickr gallery, which is called Snapshots in Time.
What's also interesting is when that moment is happening, they don't realize that it's a historical moment. And so having these articles and having these stories is one way of telling a story, but having a photo in front of you, visualized, is another way to connect.
So many of these photos have languished in the files for decades. They're not duplicated elsewhere. Some of the things that happened in the International District or happened involving Asian Americans just weren't covered by the mainstream media to any degree. They were covered by this paper. So you have to really value these photos, these images, as a resource.
I've only been living in Seattle for about 2 years now. To learn about the history of the Asian American movement, its roots here in Seattle, and just this tremendous history and this newspaper that's been around for 40 years. To see in these archives, to see Asian people, Pacific Islander people marching together, it was great to see the civil rights movement happening in these streets right here that I walk every day to get to work.
I like this one. It's a Dean Wong photo of Martha Nishitani, who is a modern dancer and teacher. And when I came across this, I was like, oh yeah, I took classes with her when I was a kid.
The work of Dean Wong was incredible during that era. Through his lens, he captured not simply what was going on, the New Year's celebrations, the firecrackers, the demonstrations for low-income housing, the protests, but also he really captured the sense of people and the interaction of families, the kids playing in the alleys, and that really was, I think, a defining characteristic of the newspaper.
We documented in words and pictures of a certain era. At first I was kind of hesitant of having my stuff on the web and anybody can grab it and do whatever they want. But now I feel like that project has given a lot of these old photographs, not just mine, but the ones that are in the archives of the International Examiner, new life.
For the future of the project, I want more pictures to be scanned. I want more people to see them. I want it to be an ongoing thing. We have so much more in our little drawers upstairs.
And I think it's important for each news organ, each community organization to do that, to really transfer that into some form that can then have some permanence and then also make its way into the next generation so they know what came before them.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcast anytime at seattlechannel.org.